week on Turning 2, we're going to be looking at Julia and Julia and A Perfect Getaway. Alright, Julia and Julia, it's an alright movie. It's clearly made for women. The male characters are marginalized. They're involved, but only as kind of satellites of Meryl Streep's character and Amy Adams' character. It's about cooking and these two women, their relationships in different times of, how cooking's influenced their life and how they relate to each other. So they're parallels, but they never really interact. It's a nice idea, but the idea that two kind of boring stories that wouldn't make a good movie by themselves combined would make an exciting movie that people want to see is a little insulting. It's not very boring. It actually hits on a pet peeve of mine of, in the background, having no sound whatsoever. So people will just be having dialogue and there's no sound. That takes a kind of slow movie and brings it to a screeching halt and makes the 2 hours that this movie is and makes it feel like 2.5 or 3. It's just very slow and nothing really happens. They just kind of exist, and Amy Adams and Meryl Streep do a good job with their characters of showing their existence and expressing that. They carry this movie, really, but it's just not that compelling. Obviously, not their target audience. I'm a white male, 22, not a woman, baby boomer or whatever they're looking to reach there. But it didn't get me. It's like a 5. It's average, harmless fun, basically. Alright, our second movie is going to be A Perfect Getaway. This movie is kind of weird because it's something that I probably wouldn't have seen, but the advertising said, it's a twist you'll never be able to guess. So that got me. You got me advertising. So I went to go see it, and because they advertised that the twist is something I would never be able to guess, I was kind of able to guess it. So that was frustrating because I would have just seen it without any kind of notion of what was going to happen. I would have been really shocked and like, oh man, you got me. So it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing. I wouldn't have seen it had they not, but because they did, it was less enjoyable. But I still liked it a lot. It's not torture porn. It's just like a thriller, whodunit kind of. It's very self-aware. You have characters talking about a first act red herring, a second act twist, and blah, blah, blah. But it's measured and it's subtle enough. Nobody's like winking into the camera. It's not like Snakes on a Plane in that sense. But it is over the top and kind of ridiculous and, clearly made by some film school brat who was just doing what he wanted to do. Except for there's a part of it where it goes to black and white right after the twist has been revealed. And there's this black and white segment that it just explains for anyone who doesn't understand in very, very clear detail. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that this is like a passive aggressive slap at the production company who's saying, you have to make it more clear, you have to make it more clear. So it goes out of its way to, make it absolutely clear, and it almost derails, but looking back on it, it's pretty funny and kind of consistent with, being self-aware kind of movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoy anything postmodern like this movie. It was a 6, maybe 6.5. Next week on Turning 2, we're going to be looking at District 9 and another movie who doesn't have heavy-handed commentary on apartheid. See you then.